Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushaq, choose what really matters.
The Pacific is the new theatre of action. Australia will deploy nuclear-powered submarines in the Pacific region. The US and the UK will help it. This is part of a new plan that they've announced. And they've made quite a splash with it. The idea, we are told, is to keep China in check. But some of America's allies are not happy. What is this new deal? Who will be part of it? And who is opposing it? That's what we'll discuss tonight. First things first, what is it called? It's called Aukus. It's already inspiring memes, but we'll get to that later. This is how it began. Joe Biden, US President, appears before the press, flanked by leaders of the United Kingdom and Australia. Together they announce a new military alliance called AUKUS, an acronym for Australia, United Kingdom, United States. AUKUS, AUKUS. What will they do? Challenge China in the Indo-Pacific.
Although Australia, the UK and US partnership, AUKUS, it sounds strange with all these acronyms, but it's a good one. AUKUS, our nations will update and enhance our shared ability to take on the threats of the 21st century, just as we did in the 20th century.
That's great as far as sales pitches go. AUKUS sounds very promising. It's been called the most significant security arrangement since the Second World War. With its nuclear submarine in the Pacific, it could pose a serious challenge to China. It could also dramatically escalate the threat of war in the Indo-Pacific. Here's what they say they plan to do. Challenge Beijing's territorial claims in the South China Sea. How will they do it? Nuclear-powered submarines. This is very, very significant. For the first time in 50 years, the United States is opening up its box of nuclear secrets. America will arm Australia with 8 nuclear-powered submarines. The arrangement is quite simple. The US will share the technology and build these submarines with the United Kingdom. What will Australia do? They'll pay the bill. Australia will fund the nuclear submarine project. And here's something else that you must know. Until now, the UK was the only country that had access to this American technology. Now, Australia joins this very elite club.
We intend to build these submarines in Adelaide, Australia, in close cooperation with the United Kingdom and the United States. But let me be clear, Australia is not seeking to acquire nuclear weapons or establish a civil nuclear capability.
So if they won't fire nuclear missiles, what will these submarines really do? What's their USP? They're much faster, they're harder to detect, they can stay submerged for months, shoot missiles to longer distances, they can also carry more missiles. The biggest USP of a nuclear submarine is that it doesn't need to be refueled, not for a long time. It is powered by a small nuclear reactor on board. So once a nuclear submarine is pressed into service, it can be commissioned with enough uranium fuel to last more than 30 years, 30. Australia will get such technology now. It will be the 7th country in the world to get a fleet of nuclear subs. Which are the other 6? The United States, of course, the United Kingdom, France, China, India, and Russia. All these countries already have nuclear-powered submarines. So where will Australia use these submarines? The answer is quite simple, the South China Sea to start with. With nuclear submarines, Australia could conduct routine patrols through disputed territory. And this is disputed territory because Beijing stakes claim on the entire South China Sea. There are many other countries who do too, on parts of it. China has been building up its naval capabilities in this region. With not just ships or submarines, China is building artificial islands with military installations. So far, Beijing has at least 27 such outposts in the South China Sea. Australia sees these developments as a threat, so it is adding more muscle to its defense forces. The United Kingdom believes this alliance will bring the 3 countries together.
The UK, Australia, and the US will be joined even more closely together, reflecting the measure of trust between us, the depth of our friendship, and the enduring strength of our shared values of freedom and democracy.
Did you notice something in these statements? All 3 leaders did not name China at all. They want to contain the dragon without even naming it. They say they want a free and open Indo-Pacific. The Americans went a step further. Officials from the Biden administration said the alliance is not aimed at any one country, quote unquote. But Beijing got the message. It has called the decision to arm Australia an extremely irresponsible step.
The cooperation between the United States, Britain and Australia on nuclear-powered submarines has severely damaged regional peace and stability, intensified the arms race and undermined international nuclear non-proliferation efforts. The export of highly sensitive nuclear-powered submarine technology by the United States and Britain to Australia once again proves that they are using nuclear exports as a tool of geopolitical games and adopting double standards, which is extremely irresponsible.
Those words could only mean one thing. China will not only match the Western deployments toe-to-toe, it will also challenge them with its own military. The United States, the UK and Australia have taken a bold step to join hands and counter China militarily. Well, that was the easy part. Sticking together and staying the course will be harder. Why do I say this? Because the American president is already having trouble remembering the name of his Aukus ally. Look at how he thanked them.
Thank you, Boris. And I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate it, Mr. Prime Minister. And I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate it, Mr. Prime Minister.
He forgot his name. Thank you, Boris, and that fellow from down under. That's what the US president said. This is what it means to be an American ally, by the way, putting up with their self-obsession all the time. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushak, choose what really matters.